step is not to take too narrow a focus on technology. Technology implementation by itself will not drive any transformation in a business. It's important that organisations look at it in a holistic way that looks across the changes required from a business process, a business organisation and cultural change to ensure that the changes anticipated through the investment are actually realised. From the organisations that we're working with, those organisations who focus explicitly on the adoption phase of programmes are those that are differentiating themselves in terms of return. The other observation we'd have is what we're seeing is that in recent years there's been a lot written over the need to improve integration between business and technology. That debate is now moving on. The next evolution of that is organisations who are successful are not just driving better integration between their business and IT functions, but they're putting the human at the centre of that experience. And that human may be the employee, it may be the end consumer, it may be the customer, it may be the supplier. There are a number of factors behind this gap. The first is that organisations historically haven't really focused on data as an asset within the organisation, and therefore clarity in relation to governance and management of data within the organisations hasn't been clear. The recent discussions and effort around GDPR at least have brought to the forefront discussions and awareness in relation to data. The challenge now is to move those discussions from compliance into the land of value-add activities that can be derived from the appropriate use of data. The second factor is that traditionally both organisations and the systems that have had to support them have been quite siloed. So the ability of management to get an end-to-end view of either processes or data has been a challenge. So what we're noting over recent years is organisations invest both in new business systems and supporting organisational structures, coupled with improved technology so that people can more readily visualise data. We see significant improvements in that regard. The third factor that has acted as a barrier to the more significant use of data has been the absence of appropriate skills. The ability to attract and retain the skills necessary to support the necessary data analytics activities are challenging. And the other thing I'm supposed to face is that those skills don't reside just within the IT function. There's a need to bolster business functions, whether that be finance, HR, operations or supply chain with those skills also. I suppose this goes back to some of the factors we highlighted as impacting on progress to date, the most fundamental of which is ensuring that any investment in technology is grounded with an appropriate data management framework and governance. So rather than the temptation of running to invest heavily in technology, a more appropriate first step for organisations would be to take the time out to understand the data life cycle from the time the organisation acquires that data to the time that it retires it or archives that data.